Coach, first off, do you plan to start the same way tonight?
I do, yes.
How you talk about guys being ready and seizing opportunity. How pleased have you been with the way that Chuma and Caleb have stayed ready and embraced the opportunity that's been presented to them?
I think they've done a great job, not being in rotation for some time and then bumping in and being able to get starting spots, taking on each challenge. It's a credit to them. It's also a credit to the coaches and the way in which they've watched film with them, studied the game with them, knowing what they're capable of doing. And it's an invaluable experience for these guys to have these opportunities.
In Atlanta, you described Jonathan Isaac as a game changer for you guys. What's the process to get him on the court for more than 10 or 12 minutes a night to see more action from him on a nightly basis?
Just getting him on the court more.
What are those conversations like with him when you talk? Do you talk with him about that, or is that part of the conversation?
Yeah, we have a ton of dialogue. The great part about this team is there's constant communication. You can't make a lot of these decisions if it's not the partnership that we've talked about it being. Whether guys are playing, not playing, in rotation, out of rotation, playing at the end of the game, starting a game, like every player wants to know, what that looks like. And as best as we do as a staff is it's communicating those pieces to them so they know what's coming. And that's what we've talked about. By committee doesn't just mean like here's these couple minutes here and there. It's by committee because we've talked about this may be a good game for you, not be a good game for you. This may be the rotation. This may be the lineup. There's a lot of conversations that go into it, and that's the wonderful part about this group, that they all take the information and use it to their advantage.
Coach, Wendell put together the best performance so far since coming back off of injury. Now going up against Embiid, Paul Reed, some big bodies that they can throw at him. Mm-hmm. What are some things that you're just looking for him to continue to progress with?
Be who he is. I think it's the same. He's proven what he's able to do in this league when it comes to playing against some of the best players. The way he defends, the way he moves, the way he can switch and play multiple positions defensively, offensively, being that decision maker. Now it's spacing the floor, knocking down shots, but being able to make those right reads. When the big is down in a drop, am I popping back and then making a next play to make that big have to move? If that big's up higher, am I rolling to the rim so I can hit the pocket and spray and make it, make the decision for my teammates? And that's what he does. He has such a high basketball IQ that he knows how to make those reads.
And also, I know it's probably more of a feeling out process, though, but are we still looking at Wendell and Markelle really on a minutes restriction, excuse me?
And we talked about that this morning. A little bit of that is just depending on how they feel and pull up after games. And so we've got to continue to monitor that. And with a lot of these guys, and we've talked about it as well, it's a small sample size. You have them for the first 6 games, and then you move on. You don't have them. Then a different lineup comes in, and somebody else goes down. So being able to find the right combinations is going to be something that we'll continue to look at.
Coach, Franz Wagner was on J.J. Redick's podcast recently, and he called you the ultimate players coach. What does that mean to you?
I don't know. Was it good or bad?
Leading by example?
No. Ultimately, it's like I don't ask, and our coaches don't ask anything of these guys that we're not willing to do. And if it's about studying film, if it's about coming in early, if it's about getting your work done, if it's about being a professional, those are all the things that you want to have the person that is, making some of the decisions to do. I will not ask them to do anything that I would not be willing to do as a coach or as a player. But it's putting them first. We talk about partnership. We talk about ownership. We talk about, doing the right thing by everybody around you. And that's how you want them to be able to lead. So I won't ask them to do it if I'm not willing to do it myself.
Coach, when you look at the Sixers team, what's unique about the Maxey Embiid pick and roll and kind of just all the things you have to account for when you're trying to go up against it?
Well, it just looks like there's so much more of a willingness now in each one of them. I mean, you go back and you watch their play, fist out 15, and they're running it easily, but it's like there's something different, like in which they're willing to make the play. If Embiid feels like he has the matchup, they allow him to go to it. If you realize Maxey has the matchup, they go to it. And there's not even a second guess. They look like they're just making the right play at the right time and the willingness for each other to make that play.
Coach, when it comes to Embiid, the consistency the last 16 games, what he's done, do you prep for that consistency or do you try something else?
You have to. Great players are, you find a way to get them out of their comfort zone. So you know what he's capable of doing. You have different matchups, different looks, different coverages that you'll try to have them see. But there's a reason why he's, always in the conversation of MVP and being the MVP. Because he makes tough plays. He makes it hard on your defense. He can manipulate it in different ways. So you have to be smart in the way in which you cover him. But then you have to see different looks because you're not going to ultimately stop him from doing the things that he's capable of doing. But you have to make it extremely difficult to keep him guessing.
And Coach, like you said, you might not be able to stop them, but you want to make them uncomfortable. So with that kind of mindset, do you guys prep in a way to make or force other players in the Sixers team to beat you guys in a sense? Or if we're not going to lose by MB, we're not going to get beat by Maxey. If something's going to happen, it's going to be by the other players. But we're going to focus on what's the main task.
You asked me the game plan last week, and I tried
remember
to.
Me?
Yeah, I remember that. You asked me the whole game plan. I'll wait to tell you after the game what we did.
Coach, speaking of Embiid, he shoots nearly 60% from the mid-range too. So recently he's been pulling up from that elbow. He hits it just as other players hit like their layups at that same kind of clip. Would you prefer he take those mid-range twos, or like how do you defend that? Would you
I prefer he take them and not make them.
Right.
He can take all of them he wants if he's not making them. I'd prefer that. But to that question, it's tough because, he's down at the basket and now you're worried about getting in foul trouble because of what a physical presence he is and being able to finish at the basket through contact. So you have to balance it out. It goes back and forth. Like you have to live with some of those because he's going to make them. You say he's hit him at 60% clip. You got to make sure they're highly contested, that he gets out of his rhythm. But you don't want him at the basket where you're forced to give up and ones now. So you got to mix it up as much as possible. Thank you, guys.